The alien arena was silent. Not because the crowd was afraid, because they were laughing. In the center of the arena, surrounded by 10,000 aliens, a human stood alone. His name was Ryan Carter. His hands were chained behind his back. Blood ran down one side of his face. And standing across from him was the reason everyone had come to watch. Kraken, the strongest warrior in the Varkesh Empire. Over 8 feet tall. For arms, a body covered in natural black armor. He had killed champions from 17 different worlds. And today he was supposed to kill a human. The crowd roared. Ryan looked around the arena. Thousands of alien faces. Thousands of eyes. All watching him like he was already dead. Above him, a massive holographic screen displayed one sentence. Human prisoner. Survival time. Unknown. Then a voice echoed through the arena. Human. Ryan looked up. Emperor Veron sat high above the battlefield, surrounded by guards. You have been given an opportunity. Ryan said nothing. The Emperor smiled. Entertain us. The crowd laughed again. Ryan slowly looked at the giant warrior waiting for him. Then back at the Emperor. What happens if I win? For the first time, the laughter became quieter. The Emperor leaned forward. You won't. Ryan nodded. That's not what I asked. A few aliens exchanged confused looks. The Emperor smiled. If you somehow defeat Kraken, he spread his hands. You will be free. Ryan looked at Kraken, then at the chains around his wrists. Take these off. The Emperor laughed. Why? Ryan raised his eyes. Because it's not fair. The entire arena exploded with laughter. Even Kraken smiled. The Emperor wiped his eyes. Human. He pointed toward Ryan. You are the weakest creature in this arena. Ryan looked down at the chains, then quietly said, That's what you think. The laughter stopped. Not because of Ryan. Because the arena doors opened. A group of alien guards dragged someone inside. A woman. Human. Ryan's face changed immediately. Emily. She was thrown onto the ground. Her hands were bound. Her face was bruised. The Emperor stood. This human was captured with you. Ryan stepped forward. The guards immediately raised their weapons. Let her go. The Emperor ignored him. Fight. Ryan stared at him. Let her go first. Fight. Ryan's jaw tightened. Across the arena, Kraken stepped closer. The ground shook beneath his feet. Emily looked at Ryan. Don't do it. Ryan didn't take his eyes off the Emperor. What did you do to her? The Emperor smiled. Nothing. Then he nodded toward one of his guards. The guard lifted a small device. Emily screamed. Ryan froze. Every muscle in his body tightened. Stop. The Emperor watched him carefully. Fight. Ryan lowered his head. For several seconds, he didn't move. Then he slowly raised his hands. The chains were still around his wrists. Kraken laughed. The crowd began cheering again. The Emperor leaned back. Good. Kraken stepped into the center of the arena. The chains on Ryan's ankles unlocked. Only his wrists remained bound. A bell rang. The fight began. Kraken moved first. His massive arm crossed the arena like a missile. Ryan barely moved. Boom! The punch hit the ground. Stone exploded. The shockwave threw Ryan backward. The crowd cheered. Kraken smiled. Run, little human. Ryan stood. Blood dripped from his mouth. Kraken attacked again. Ryan ducked. The massive fist passed over his head. Ryan moved to the side. Another punch. Another step. Ryan wasn't fighting. He was surviving. The crowd began laughing again. Look at him. He's afraid. Humans really are weak. High above the arena, the Emperor watched quietly. Ryan kept moving. Always one step ahead. One breath ahead. Kraken became angry. Stop running. Ryan finally looked at him. Then he smiled. Kraken stopped. The Emperor leaned forward. Something was wrong. Ryan looked at the massive warrior. I was hoping you'd say that. Kraken charged. Ryan didn't move. The crowd gasped. The giant raised all 4 arms. Ryan stood directly beneath him. Then, Ryan twisted his chained hands. There was a small metallic click. The chains fell to the ground. The entire arena went silent. Kraken froze. Ryan rolled his shoulders. His wrists were bleeding. The Emperor stood. How? Ryan looked up at him. You should really inspect your prisoners better. Kraken roared and attacked. Ryan stepped forward. Not backward. Forward. The giant's fist came down. Ryan grabbed his arm. For 1 second, nothing happened. Then Kraken screamed. The sound shook the arena. Every alien stood. Ryan had stopped the 8-foot warrior's arm. With one hand, the crowd became silent. Ryan slowly looked at Kraken. You wanted to know why humans keep getting called weak? Kraken tried to pull away. He couldn't. Ryan's expression changed. The fear was gone. We don't mind. He twisted Kraken's arm. The giant crashed to one knee. The arena shook. Ryan leaned closer. Because people who think you're weak. He looked toward the Emperor. Usually make mistakes. The Emperor's face lost all color. Every alien soldier raised their weapons. Ryan released Kraken, slowly turned around, and looked directly at them. For the first time, the entire arena saw it. The human wasn't trapped. He had been watching, learning, waiting. Ryan looked at Emily. Close your eyes. Her expression changed. Ryan. Now. She closed them. Ryan looked toward the Emperor one final time. You said I could go free if I won. The Emperor's voice trembled. Kill him. Every weapon in the arena fired. 1,000 blasts of energy crossed the air. And Ryan Carter disappeared. Not vaporized. Not destroyed. He simply disappeared. The arena fell silent. The Emperor slowly stood. Where is he? Nobody answered. Then one of the guards looked down. Ryan was standing behind him. The guard turned. Too late. Ryan whispered. Now. The lights went out. Complete darkness swallowed the arena. Aliens began screaming. Weapons fired blindly. Something heavy crashed into the ground. Then another. And another. The Emperor shouted. Turn on the lights. The emergency systems activated. Red lights flickered across the arena. The Emperor looked down. Every guard surrounding Ryan was unconscious. Kraken was on his knees. Ryan stood in the center, breathing heavily, still alive, still holding the small device that had been used on Emily. The Emperor stared at him. Ryan crushed it in his hand. Then he looked directly toward the throne. I'm done fighting your champion. Silence. The Emperor slowly stepped backward. Ryan smiled. Now. He pointed toward the throne. I'm coming for the people who thought taking humans was a good idea. And somewhere above the planet, a human distress signal suddenly activated. One signal. One message. Sent toward Earth. We found them. The red lights flickered across the arena. Ryan stood in the center. Around him, dozens of alien guards lay unconscious. Not dead. Unconscious. That detail bothered Emperor Veron more than anything else. Ryan could have killed them. He had chosen not to. The Emperor slowly stepped back from his throne. Above the arena, thousands of alien spectators watched in complete silence. Nobody was laughing anymore. Ryan looked toward Emily. Are you hurt? She shook her head. I'm okay. Ryan nodded. Then his eyes moved toward the Emperor. But I'm not. Veron's guards immediately formed a wall around him. Heavy weapons activated. Ryan smiled. You can relax. The Emperor stared at him. You killed my champion. Ryan looked toward Kraken. The massive warrior was breathing. Alive. Ryan raised an eyebrow. Looks alive to me. Kraken slowly lifted his head. His forearms were shaking. For the first time in his life, he looked afraid. What are you? He whispered. Ryan looked at him. A human. Then every alarm on the planet suddenly activated. Warning. Unknown signal detected. The Emperor turned toward the sky. A massive holographic screen appeared above the arena. A single signal was moving through space, straight toward the planet. One of the officers stepped forward. Your Majesty. Veron's eyes narrowed. What? The officer looked terrified. The signal Ryan Carter sent. Ryan smiled. What about it? The officer swallowed. It was answered. Silence. Emily looked at Ryan. Ryan's smile disappeared. That was fast. The Emperor slowly turned toward him. Who answered? Ryan looked at the holographic display. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Suddenly, the sky above the arena went dark. Thousands of spectators screamed. A shadow moved across the planet. First, everyone thought it was a storm. Then the orbital defense network came online. Hundreds of weapons locked onto something in space. The holographic display zoomed out, and every alien in the arena stopped breathing. A ship. No, something much larger. It was a single human vessel. Old, damaged, its hull covered in burn marks. But it was enormous. Larger than the Emperor's flagship. The officer whispered, "One ship." Ryan stared at it. His expression changed. Emily noticed. You know that ship? Ryan said nothing. The vessel transmitted a message. A human voice filled the arena. Ryan Carter. Ryan looked toward the sky. The voice continued. You were ordered to remain hidden. The Emperor stared at Ryan. Hidden? Ryan slowly looked at Emily. She was already watching him. What aren't you telling me? Ryan didn't answer. The voice returned. You broke protocol. Ryan looked up. You're welcome. The voice became colder. You were not sent to save them. The arena fell silent. Ryan's smile vanished. The voice continued. You were sent to observe. Emily stared at him. Observe what? Ryan looked at the Emperor, then toward the thousands of aliens in the arena. His voice was quiet. Them. The Emperor's face hardened. You were spying on my empire? Ryan nodded. For 3 years. The crowd erupted. Guards surrounded Ryan again. But this time the Emperor raised his hand. Wait. Everyone stopped. Veron stepped closer. You allowed yourself to be captured. Ryan didn't answer. You allowed my scientists to study you. Silence. You entered my arena. The Emperor's eyes widened. Because this was part of your mission. Ryan looked directly at him. Not exactly. Then why? Ryan looked at Emily. The Emperor followed his eyes. Understanding slowly appeared on his face. Emily stepped backward. What? Ryan moved toward her. Emily. Don't. She shook her head. What am I? Ryan stopped. For the first time he looked uncertain. The Emperor laughed. Cold, nervous laugh. Wonderful. He looked between them. The human doesn't even know. Ryan's head snapped toward him. What does that mean? Veron smiled. Oh, Ryan. He pointed at Emily. You think we captured her with you? Ryan went completely still. Emily looked at the Emperor. What is he talking about? Veron's smile grew. She was already here. Ryan turned slowly toward Emily. No. The Emperor walked closer. Your human government sent you to observe my empire. He pointed toward Ryan. But your government sent her to find you. Ryan's face lost all color. Emily whispered, Ryan. Ryan stepped backward. No. The Emperor's voice echoed through the silent arena. You have been asking the wrong question. He looked at Ryan. You want to know why we thought humans were weak? Ryan stared at him. The Emperor pointed toward Emily. Because we had already captured one. Everything stopped. Ryan looked at Emily. She looked back, confused, terrified. Then a strange sound came from above. The damaged human ship. Its engines suddenly shut down. Ryan's communicator activated. A voice whispered inside his ear. Ryan, do not let the Emperor touch her. Ryan froze. Who is this? A pause. Then the voice answered. Someone who knows what she can do. At that exact moment, Emperor Veron grabbed Emily's arm. Ryan moved, but he was too late. The Emperor pressed a small device against her neck. Emily screamed. The entire arena shook. Ryan stopped. His eyes widened. The Emperor's expression changed. Not fear. Recognition. You see? He whispered. A pulse of energy exploded from Emily's body. Every weapon in the arena shut down. Every screen went black. The human ship above the planet suddenly powered up. And Ryan finally understood why he had really been sent there. He had never been sent to observe the aliens. He had been sent to find Emily, the woman standing beside him, the woman he thought he was protecting, the woman who had just brought an entire alien planet to its knees. Then Emily opened her eyes. They were glowing, and she looked directly at Ryan. Ryan! Her voice sounded different, older, stronger, terrifyingly calm. I think. The lights across the planet exploded. I remember who I am. And far above the planet, the damaged human ship opened fire. Not at the aliens. At the ground. Straight toward the arena. The human ship fired. A beam of blue-white energy tore through the sky. Every alien in the arena looked up. Then, boom! The ground exploded. Ryan grabbed Emily and pulled her down. Stone and metal rained across the arena. The crowd screamed. Emperor Veyron disappeared behind a wall of smoke. Ryan covered Emily with his body. Are you okay? Emily didn't answer. Ryan looked down. She was staring at her hands. Blue energy was moving beneath her skin. Emily? She slowly looked at him. Her glowing eyes were fading. I don't know what's happening. Ryan helped her stand. Around them, the arena was chaos. Alien guards were running. Spectators were pushing toward the exits. Emergency alarms screamed across the entire city. Ryan touched his communicator. Who fired that shot? No answer. Identify yourself. Static. Then the same voice returned. Get her out of there. Ryan's expression hardened. You almost killed us. No, the voice said calmly. We saved you. Ryan looked at the crater. By firing at the building? The voice paused, then answered. That wasn't the target. Ryan slowly turned around. The arena wall behind them had been completely destroyed. Beyond it was the Imperial Palace. And in the center of the palace, something was glowing. Ryan's face changed. Emily. She looked at it, and suddenly fell to her knees. Images flooded her mind. A laboratory. White walls. Human scientists. A little girl lying inside a glass chamber. Emily screamed. Ryan grabbed her. What do you see? She opened her eyes. They did this to me. Ryan froze. Who? Emily pointed toward the sky. Humans. Before Ryan could respond, a massive shadow moved through the smoke. Kraken. The alien champion was still alive. One of his arms hung broken. Blood covered his armor. Ryan immediately stepped in front of Emily. Kraken stopped. For a moment, the two stared at each other. Ryan tightened his fists. Kraken looked at him. Then, he dropped to one knee. Ryan blinked. What are you doing? Kraken looked toward Emily. Protecting her. Ryan stared. You were trying to kill me 5 minutes ago. I was ordered to. And now? Kraken looked terrified. Now I know what she is. Emily stepped forward. What am I? Kraken shook his head. You don't remember. Ryan grabbed him. Then tell us. Kraken looked directly at Ryan. The galaxy calls her kind. He stopped. His voice shook. The first ones. Ryan released him. Emily stared. What does that mean? Kraken pointed toward the palace. That means your emperor didn't capture you. Ryan turned. What? Kraken looked at Emily. He found you. Suddenly the emperor's voice echoed across the city. Seal the planet. Ryan's communicator exploded with warnings. Orbital defense activated. The damaged human ship above the planet was immediately surrounded by hundreds of alien warships. Ryan looked up. They're trapped. Kraken shook his head. No. Pause. So are we. The sky turned red. Massive orbital weapons began charging. Ryan looked at Emily. We need to move. They ran through the broken arena wall. Behind them, thousands of alien soldiers entered the stadium. Ryan, Emily, and Kraken disappeared into the streets. The city had changed. Minutes earlier, it had been peaceful. Now every street was filled with soldiers. Massive drones scanned the buildings. Ryan pulled Emily behind an abandoned transport vehicle. Kraken crouched beside them. Emily looked at Ryan. You knew something about me. Ryan shook his head. No. Don't lie. I swear. She looked into his eyes. Then why did your government send you here? Ryan hesitated. That was enough. Emily stepped back. You knew. Ryan looked down. I knew there was someone. What someone? They never told me. Who gave you the mission? Ryan touched the communicator. No name, no face, just instructions. Emily's voice became cold. Find the human girl. Ryan went silent. Kraken looked between them. You were sent to retrieve her. Ryan shook his head. No. I was told to observe the Empire. Emily laughed bitterly. And you believed that? Ryan had no answer. Then his communicator activated. A new voice appeared. Female. Calm. Ryan. He froze. He knew that voice. Director Hale. Emily looked at him. Who is that? Ryan ignored her. Where are you? Far away. Why did you send me here? Silence. Then the woman answered. Because Emily was never supposed to wake up. Ryan's face hardened. What is she? Emily stepped closer. Ask her. Ryan looked at Emily, then spoke. Director, what is Emily? A long silence followed. Finally, she is the reason humanity survived. Everything stopped. Ryan stared at the communicator. What? The voice continued. Before humans built their first cities, before we had nations, there was another civilization. Emily whispered, No. Ryan looked at her. She was remembering again. The director continued. They discovered a source of energy unlike anything in the universe. Kraken closed his eyes. Human energy. Ryan frowned. The director corrected him. No. Her voice became serious. Emily energy. The street lights exploded. Emily grabbed her head. Stop. Ryan moved toward her. Emily. Stay back. A wave of energy burst outward. Every drone above the city crashed to the ground. Alien soldiers fell backward. Windows shattered across the entire street. Ryan shielded his face. Then the energy stopped. Emily stood completely still. Her eyes were glowing again. But this time, she was no longer confused. She looked toward the Imperial Palace. Ryan slowly lowered his hands. Emily? She turned toward him. Her voice was calm. I remember. Ryan swallowed. Remember what? Emily looked at Kraken. The war. Kraken stepped backward. What war? Emily smiled. The one before your species existed. The ground began shaking. Ryan looked toward the palace. The glowing object inside was rising. Slowly, a massive black sphere emerged from the Imperial Palace. Alien soldiers stopped. Even the Emperor's forces seemed confused. The director's voice screamed through Ryan's communicator. Ryan! What? Do not let her touch that sphere. Ryan looked at Emily. Too late. She was already walking toward it. Ryan ran after her. Emily! She didn't stop. The black sphere rose above the city. Thousands of alien warships locked onto it. Kraken stared upward. No! Ryan looked at him. What is it? Kraken's face turned pale. The prison. Emily stopped. The sphere opened. Not with a door. The entire surface unfolded like black metal petals. Inside, something was alive. A heartbeat echoed across the city. Thump. Ryan froze. Emily whispered, I remember this sound. Another heartbeat. Thump. Every alien soldier dropped their weapons. Kraken fell to his knees. Ryan looked at Emily. What is inside? Emily's glowing eyes filled with fear. For the first time since waking, she looked terrified. Then she whispered, the thing that made humans look weak. The black sphere opened completely, and something inside opened its eyes. The black sphere opened completely. For 3 seconds, nothing happened. The entire city was silent. Ryan stood beside Emily, staring into the darkness inside the sphere. Emily. She didn't answer. Her eyes were fixed on something inside. Then, thump, the heartbeat came again. This time, the ground cracked beneath their feet. Alien soldiers dropped to their knees. High above the city, warships suddenly lost power. One by one, they began falling from the sky. Ryan grabbed Emily's arm. "We need to move." She pulled away. "No." Ryan looked at her. "What do you mean, no?" Emily slowly stepped closer to the open sphere. Ryan immediately moved in front of her. "Emily, stop." Her voice was barely a whisper. "I know what's in there." Ryan stared at her. "Then tell me." For the first time since the prison opened, Emily looked directly into his eyes, and Ryan saw real fear. "It was my fault." Before he could ask what she meant, a voice came from inside the sphere. Not loud, not threatening, almost human. "Emily." She froze. Ryan's hand moved toward his weapon. "Who is that?" Emily whispered. "My brother." Ryan stared at her. "What?" The voice came again. "You left me here." Emily took a step back. "No." The black darkness inside the sphere began moving. A hand appeared. Human. Or at least, it looked human. Pale skin. Long fingers. Covered in dark veins. Then another hand touched the edge of the opening. Slowly, a man stepped out. He looked about 30 years old. Tall. Thin. Wearing what remained of an ancient human military uniform. His face was calm. Too calm. Ryan noticed something strange. The man's shadow was moving, even though he wasn't. Emily began shaking. "Noah." The man smiled. "Hello, sister." Ryan looked between them. "You actually know him?" Emily couldn't speak. Noah stepped out of the sphere. The moment his foot touched the ground, every alien within 50 meters collapsed. No blood. No wounds. They simply fell unconscious. Ryan immediately raised his weapon. Noah looked at it, then back at Ryan. "A gun." Ryan tightened his grip. "Don't move." Noah smiled. "You humans haven't changed." Ryan's eyes narrowed. "You're human." Noah looked at Emily. She answered quietly. "He used to be." Silence. Ryan slowly lowered the weapon. "What happened to him?" Emily closed her eyes. "We found the energy source." Ryan remembered Director Hale's words. A civilization before humanity. An unknown energy. Emily looked toward the sky. "We thought it could save us." Noah laughed. "And it did." Emily looked at him. "Noah, it made us stronger." His voice echoed strangely through the street. "It healed disease, powered worlds, extended life." Ryan stared at the dark veins crawling across Noah's neck. "But it changed you." Noah's smile disappeared. "It changed us." The ground shook. Suddenly, thousands of memories flashed through Ryan's mind. Not his memories. Someone else's. A human city. Ancient. Far more advanced than anything Ryan had ever seen. Millions of people. Then a bright blue light appeared above the planet, and the city disappeared. Ryan fell to one knee. "What was that?" Emily looked at Noah. "The first experiment." Noah nodded. "Humanity discovered the energy." He looked toward the Imperial Palace. "And humanity became addicted to it." Ryan stood slowly. "What does that have to do with the aliens?" Emily answered, "Everything." Suddenly, the communicator in Ryan's ear activated. "Director Hale." "Ryan, listen to me carefully." Ryan grabbed the device. "You knew Noah was here?" "Yes." "Then why didn't you tell me?" "Because you would have done exactly what you're doing now." Ryan looked toward Noah. "What is he?" Hale went silent. Ryan shouted, "What is he?" Finally, she answered, "The first human weapon." Noah smiled. Ryan felt cold. Hale continued, "When the ancient civilization attacked humanity, Noah was the first soldier to survive contact with their energy." Emily stepped backward. "No." Ryan looked at her. "What?" She shook her head. "That isn't what happened." Hale's voice became urgent. "Emily, don't listen to him." Emily stared at the communicator. "You lied to me." Hale didn't answer. Emily's eyes began glowing. "You always lied." Suddenly, another memory entered her mind. A laboratory. Emily as a little girl. Human scientists surrounding her. Noah lying inside a glass chamber. Alive. Screaming. Young Emily stood outside the glass, crying. A scientist said, "If he wakes up, kill him." Emily fell to her knees. Ryan ran toward her. She raised a hand. "Don't touch me." Noah watched silently. Ryan looked at him. What did they do? Noah's expression changed. For the first time, Ryan saw pain. "They used me to build their empire." Ryan frowned. "What empire?" Noah looked toward the alien warships falling from the sky. "The human empire." Ryan froze. Humanity didn't have an empire. Not according to history. Noah smiled sadly. "That is because your history is a lie." Every screen across the city suddenly turned on. A message appeared. Not from the aliens. From Earth. "Global emergency protocol activated." Ryan stared. Hale's voice became desperate. "Ryan, get away from them." Emily stood slowly. Her eyes were glowing brighter. Ryan looked at her. "What aren't you telling me?" She turned toward him. "I remember." Ryan took a step back. "Remember what?" Emily looked at Noah, then toward the stars. Humans weren't hiding from the aliens. A massive shockwave suddenly came from space. The damaged human ship exploded apart. Ryan looked up, but there was no explosion. The ship had opened. Its outer armor separated into thousands of pieces. Something enormous emerged from inside. A human warship. No, a fleet. Hundreds of human ships had been hidden inside the damaged vessel. The alien city fell silent. Ryan stared at the sky. "What the hell?" Noah looked pleased. "Your people finally came." Ryan turned toward him. "My people?" Noah shook his head. "Not yours." Then the human fleet transmitted a message. Every screen in the city displayed the same symbol. A white circle. Inside it, a black hand. Then a voice spoke. Ryan recognized it. Director Hale. "Ryan Carter has completed his mission." Ryan's face went cold. "What mission?" Hale continued. "Target Emily has been located." Emily stepped backward. Ryan looked at the communicator. "No." Hale's voice became colder. "Activate containment protocol." The human fleet powered its weapons. Not toward the aliens. Not toward Noah. Every weapon locked onto Emily. Ryan immediately stepped in front of her. "No!" Hale's voice echoed across the planet. "Move away from the target, Ryan." Ryan raised his weapon toward the sky. "You said I was sent to find her." "Yes." "Why?" Silence. Then Hale answered. "Because the galaxy cannot survive if she remembers everything." Emily's face changed. Another memory was returning. She whispered, "Oh no!" Ryan looked back. "What?" Her glowing eyes filled with tears. Noah wasn't the first weapon. The city went silent. Ryan slowly turned toward her. Emily looked at him. "I was." At that exact moment, every human warship fired. And Ryan did the only thing nobody expected. He turned his back on the entire human fleet and stood between humanity's most powerful weapons and the woman they had created. For the first time, Ryan understood the truth. The aliens had never been the enemy, and the humans who called themselves weak had been hiding something far more dangerous than the galaxy could ever imagine. The human fleet opened fire. Hundreds of beams tore through the sky. Ryan didn't move. He stood directly in front of Emily. Kraken stared at him. "You're standing against your own people." Ryan kept his eyes on the fleet. "No." Kraken looked confused. "Then what are you doing?" Ryan slowly raised his weapon. "I'm standing against the people who are trying to kill an innocent woman." Emily looked at him. "Ryan." He turned toward her. "Are you innocent?" Emily hesitated. "I don't know." Ryan nodded. "Then we'll find out." Above them, the human fleet continued charging its weapons. Director Hale's voice echoed across every speaker. "Ryan Carter, this is your final warning." Ryan looked toward the sky. "You've been lying to me since the beginning. We protected you. You used me." Silence. Ryan continued. "You sent me into an alien prison knowing I'd be captured." Hale didn't answer. "You knew Emily was there." "Nothing." "You knew Noah was inside that sphere." Still nothing. Ryan's expression hardened. So tell me the truth. For several seconds, the entire city remained silent. Then Hale spoke. The truth is that humanity has been running for 12,000 years. Ryan froze. Running from what? Emily closed her eyes. She already knew. Hale continued. Before modern humanity existed, our ancestors found a world beyond the edge of known space. A holographic image appeared above the city. An ancient planet, blue oceans, massive cities, and millions of humans. Ryan stared. That was Earth. No. Hale's voice became quieter. That was humanity's first home. Noah looked at the image. His expression became cold. They called it Eden. Emily whispered the name. Eden. Ryan looked at her. You remember? A tear rolled down her face. Yes. Images exploded through her mind. Children running through enormous cities. Ships crossing entire star systems. Humans building machines capable of moving planets. Then, a black sphere. The same sphere that had imprisoned Noah. Emily grabbed her head. No! Ryan caught her before she fell. What happened? She looked at him. We opened the door. To what? Emily looked toward the stars. To the thing that was waiting outside. The entire fleet suddenly went silent. Hale spoke again. We called it the Void. Noah laughed quietly. The Void was not a name. Ryan looked at him. What was it? Noah's eyes turned completely black. A warning. The ground trembled. Kraken stepped backward. What warning? Noah looked toward the human fleet. That humanity was not alone. A massive image appeared in the sky. Not a creature. Not a ship. Something larger. A shape moving between galaxies. Ryan stared at it. What is that? Noah answered. The first thing humanity ever feared. Emily suddenly screamed. The memories returned. She saw herself as a child, standing beside Noah, watching scientists open a portal. Something on the other side looked back. Millions of humans disappeared instantly. No explosion. No battle. They simply vanished. Emily fell to the ground. Ryan knelt beside her. What happened? She whispered. They came through. Ryan looked at Noah. Who? Noah looked at the stars. The ones who taught humanity fear. Hale's voice interrupted. And that's why we built the empire. Ryan stared at the fleet. You built an empire? Yes. To fight them? No. Hale paused. To hide from them. Ryan finally understood. The Varkesh Empire. The wars. The missing civilizations. The destroyed worlds. The stories about human weakness. It had all been part of something much larger. Humanity had spent thousands of years making itself disappear, hiding its technology, destroying its own records, creating false histories, because every civilization that became too powerful was noticed, and when it was noticed, the void came. Ryan looked at Emily. And she? Hale's voice became almost a whisper. She was the last key. Emily slowly stood. No. Ryan looked at her. What key? Emily looked toward Noah. He answered for her. She can open the door. Ryan's face went pale. What door? Noah pointed toward the sky. The one humanity closed. Emily's eyes began glowing. And if I remember everything, she looked at the human fleet. I can open it again. The fleet immediately charged its weapons. Ryan stepped forward. You're going to kill her because you're afraid of what she might remember. Hale answered. We're going to kill her because we know what happens if she remembers. Ryan looked at Emily, then Noah, then the sky, and finally the thousands of alien soldiers surrounding them. He lowered his weapon. Kraken stared at him. What are you doing? Ryan answered quietly. Changing sides. The human fleet fired. Ryan raised his hand. Emily's eyes flashed. A massive blue wave exploded across the city. Every human weapon stopped. Every ship froze. Hundreds of warships suddenly lost control. The fleet commander shouted through the communications network. Her power is spreading. Hale screamed. Kill her. Ryan looked toward the sky. Then he smiled. Too late. Emily rose into the air. The blue energy around her expanded. Noah watched silently. Ryan looked at him. You knew this would happen. Noah nodded. Yes. Then why didn't you stop it? Noah looked at Emily. Because she was never the weapon. Ryan frowned. Then what is she? Noah looked toward the darkness beyond the stars. The lock. A sound echoed through space. Not a heartbeat. Something much deeper. Something enormous. Every ship in the sky suddenly stopped moving. Every alien. Every human. Every machine. Everything went silent. Then a message appeared on every screen. 3 words. The door remembers. Emily looked terrified. Ryan stepped beside her. What happens now? Emily stared into the sky. We find out what humanity was running from. And somewhere beyond the galaxy, something opened its eyes. The stars disappeared. One by one. Then all at once. The entire sky became black. Every human ship stopped. Every Varkesh warship stopped. Even the ancient machines buried beneath the planet went silent. Ryan looked upward. What happened? Noah didn't answer. Emily did. It found us. Ryan looked at her. Who? Emily pointed toward the darkness. The void. A single star appeared. Then another. Then thousands. But Ryan realized they weren't stars. They were eyes. Millions of them. Watching from beyond the galaxy. The human fleet panicked. Hale's voice echoed through every ship. Fall back. Ryan's communicator activated. Hale? Ryan, listen to me. For the first time, her voice sounded terrified. You need to get Emily off that planet. Why? Because the planet is the lock. Ryan looked around. The Varkesh city. The palace. The black sphere. Everything suddenly made sense. The planet had never been an empire's capital. It was a prison. A prison built around something humanity had discovered thousands of years ago. Noah walked toward the center of the city. Ryan followed. What are you doing? Noah stopped. Finishing what I started. Emily looked at him. Noah. He smiled. You remember now. She nodded. I remember everything. Ryan looked between them. What happened the first time? Emily's eyes filled with tears. We tried to open the door. And Noah. He stayed behind. Noah looked toward the black sphere. I wasn't trapped. Ryan froze. What? Noah smiled. I volunteered. Emily shook her head. You lied. I had to. Why? Noah looked at Ryan. Because someone had to remain inside and keep the door closed. The ground began shaking. The black sphere started rebuilding itself. Its broken pieces rose into the air. Emily stepped toward Noah. You knew they would come back. Yes. And you knew I would remember. Yes. Ryan looked toward the sky. The millions of eyes were getting closer. What happens if that door opens? Noah answered. Everything ends. Ryan looked at Emily. Can we stop it? Emily didn't answer. Noah did. Yes. Ryan turned. How? Noah pointed at Emily. She has to forget. Ryan stared. What? If she remembers everything, the door opens. Emily understood immediately. No. Noah looked at her. You know what must happen. Emily shook her head. I've spent my entire life trying to remember. And that's why you were created. Ryan stepped between them. There has to be another way. Noah looked at him. There isn't. Above them, the darkness expanded. A massive shape emerged. It was larger than the planet. Larger than anything Ryan could understand. The void had arrived. Every human ship opened fire. Every alien weapon fired. Thousands of beams crossed space. None reached it. They simply disappeared. Ryan looked at Emily. She was crying. I can hear them. Who? The humans. What are they saying? Emily looked at him. They're afraid. Ryan grabbed her hand. Then don't listen to them. She looked at him. What? You've spent your whole life being told what you are. Ryan smiled. Maybe it's time you decide. Emily stared at him. Then she looked toward Noah. Noah understood. You've made your choice. Emily nodded. I have. She turned toward the sky. Blue light surrounded her. Ryan realized what she was doing. No. Emily looked back. Ryan, don't. I have to. There has to be another way. She smiled. You taught me something. What? That being afraid doesn't mean you're weak. Ryan's eyes filled with tears. Emily stepped forward. It means there's something worth protecting. The blue light exploded. Noah walked into the center of it. Ryan shouted, Noah! Noah looked back. For once. He smiled. Let humanity remember the right story. The sphere closed around him. Emily raised both hands. The entire planet began glowing. The void stopped. For the first time, it was afraid. A massive crack appeared across space. Emily screamed. The void began being pulled backward. Its millions of eyes disappeared. One by one, the darkness collapsed. The stars returned. The human fleet regained control. The alien warships began moving again. The planet became silent. Ryan opened his eyes. Emily was gone. So was Noah. Only the black sphere remained. Ryan walked toward it. He touched its surface. A small blue light appeared. Emily's voice came from inside. Ryan. He froze. I didn't disappear. Ryan closed his eyes. I knew you wouldn't. Her voice became softer. I had to forget. Ryan looked at the sphere. Why? So the door could stay closed. A long silence. Then Emily whispered, But I left you something. The sphere opened. Not completely. Just enough for a small object to fall onto the ground. Ryan picked it up. A photograph. Emily, Ryan, Noah, standing together. But Ryan had never seen the photograph before. He turned it over. There was a message written on the back. When humanity remembers who it was. Ryan read the second line. The door will open again. Ryan stared at the words. Above him, the human fleet began broadcasting a message across the galaxy. Not a declaration of war. Not a threat. A warning. Humanity survived. Ryan looked toward the stars. Then another message appeared. One that nobody had sent. No human. No alien. No machine. It appeared on every screen in the galaxy. For words. We know you're awake. Ryan looked at the darkness beyond the stars. And somewhere far outside the galaxy, something answered. One heartbeat. Thump. Ryan slowly raised his eyes. The screen went black. And for the first time in 12,000 years, humanity understood the truth. The war had never been over. It had only been waiting for humanity to remember.